This is one of the most famous photos in American history, but who was the man behind the photo? Well, we know that his name was Peter, and he was understandably tired of the brutal treatments of slavery. This beating alone left him bedridden for months and caused him so much mental trauma that he barely even remembers it. So when he was able to properly walk with enough strength again, he said, "I'm out." And he and a couple other men made a run for it. They went through a grueling multi-day journey through alligator-infested swamps and the constant fear of being caught, which typically meant an instant and brutal death. In fact, some of the other men were caught by bloodhounds or slave hunters, which were sent out by the plantation owners. Random fact, Peter constantly covered his body with onions to try and deter the bloodhounds, and it worked. He eventually arrived to the Union territory, which meant that he was now considered a contraband of war or enemy property. But for an enslaved person, the North was not your enemy. After he took his shirt off for a medical examination, almost everyone's jaw dropped. They immediately took photos of his back and published it across the country. And this photo acted as fuel and confirmation for abolitionists on how awful slavery was. Before this, one of the best resources that abolitionists had to make their point was Uncle Tom's Cabin, which was a fictional book but relied on true events. But Southerners said that the book was a lie and turned them into Tom Show reenactments, which somewhat diminished the book's abolitionist message and gave rise to the Uncle Tom stereotype. But this was a real photo, pre-Photoshop days, so nobody could spin or sugarcoat it. I said almost everyone's jaw dropped because the black soldiers were not all that surprised by this. You may see this and think, wow, his owners were especially harsh, but the truth is this was sadly pretty normal in chattel slavery. As for Peter, he would join the Union troops and fought bravely, so much so that he actually rose up to the rank of sergeant. And there's no more documentation on him after that. He very well could have lived until the end of the war and gone on to live a life free from at least cruel beatings, or there's a very good chance he died at war, fighting bravely so that future generations weren't subject to a life as brutal as his. We may never know. But what we do know is that the same country that enslaved him and the same country that he may have died fighting for ordered that his images be removed from parks and museums, saying that it was too negative. Any respecter or lover of history knows that this is pretty shameful. History is not there for us to like or dislike or change or hide. It's there for us to learn from. And when we stop learning from history, nothing good happens.